Um, First off, you hear the firecrackers in the background. This particular New Year's done in the dead of winter, was created. It was man-made. It was made up. For all my biblical people out there, it was talking about in the scriptures. It talks about the man, or he will change like dates and times and things and such. So if you know the Bible scripture where it says they will go in and change dates and times, then you understand why January 1st, everyone around the world looks at New Year's on the 1st, because they're following behind another custom of another nation. So what exactly is New Year's on the 1st, and what does it represent? Well, New Year's Day, or New Year's on the 1st of January, is basically dedicated to the Roman god Janus, okay? And it's basically an ancient Roman custom to where they feast with the Roman god of Janus. They have a big feast. Janus was the god of beginnings, gates, transitions, time, duality, doorways, passages, frames, endings, okay? That's also where we get the word January, or the month January, from. It comes from this god or deity called Janus, okay? Janus. And I'm I love the world. I'm not happy with the way the world acts sometimes, but I love people and I love the world. And basically, I realize in life a lot of people are very sensitive and they get offended by things. But one thing we're going to have to learn to do is not to get offended when truth is being told to you. And I'm going to tell the raw truths, which is the name of my podcast and my video channel that I have here. I am basically here to tell the raw truths about New Year's Eve, or New Year's Day, and the celebration of New Year's Day. So our people, and when I say our people, I mean my people, cultural wise, so-called blacks, aka Negro, African American, black people, to the people that think that they're black, and others too that may not know this. Sometimes when you're tapping into other people's energy, you're not able to pull in great energy for yourself. So I know a lot of my people who celebrate New Year's Day and New Year's, and they do it like every year, like faithfully. Don't miss a beat. Happy New Year, screaming it through the street, not knowing that the actual true New Year's, the raw truth, real New Year's start in the spring when the leaves are growing back on the branches. Okay, because you came out of death, which is winter. Winter is considered death. Okay, because a lot of people die in the winter due to the temperature changes, lack of food, starvation, things as such. So when you come into the spring, it's more like of a celebration, because you're like, yes, a new year to get new goods, get new vegetables and crops and all that good stuff. And you have all year to do it before the fall season, when you have to bring in everything that you basically have grown from that time. So a lot of people like to start their planting in the spring, because, or like toward the end of winter, like when it nears the spring, because that your stuff is going to grow, the sun is out, and it's beautiful, okay? But anyway, I digress. I'm not going to keep talking off the subject. But anyway, in one face, it's a two-headed god, and one face looks back to the past, and then one face looks to the future. So basically, they celebrated the New Year's, and the Romans made promises to Janus, because it stems from an ancient culture, okay? it says also in this article that I'm reading today, although many do celebrate New Year's Day on January 1st, some cultures and religions have different New Year's and dates. And this is where I step in talking about cultures and religions pretty much. So, me being a Moor and knowing that I'm a Moor, and I can say that, you know, openly because I know I'm a Moor, I study astrology. And like I said, in astrology, the spring equinox basically is the new year. And I'm also, if you look in the scriptures, in the Bible, the Passover, you know, that's pretty much the new year. It's a funny little joke that they do in April when they call you April Fool on the 1st, like April Fools, you know, April Fools. They're kind of calling you foolish pretty much for not knowing that New Year's for our people, for the I'm not talking about everybody's culture, I'm talking about my people and their culture, knowing that the common sense lets you know that it starts in the spring when things come back to life. It springs back to life. So they're calling you foolish on that day, saying you're a fool to think that this is not the real New Year. So technically, we're supposed to be turning up in the spring, that when it's warm outside, because you know we don't like the cold like that. A lot of us don't like the cold like that. So to turn up in the spring would make a lot more sense than to turn up in the dead of winter. Okay, but we got to stop and ask ourselves. We were given a culture, okay? Our ancestors never celebrated these days. So you got to kind of ask yourself, well, where did all these come from? Well, it basically came from the ones that colonized and basically took over, pretty much. This is their holiday. They celebrate this day because it means a lot to them, and it's the way they're honoring their ancestors, okay? Or whoever ancestors are honoring what they're supposed to be doing. And the reason why I think that a lot of my people have a hard way to go is because they're always following in behind the Romans. You know how they say, do what the Romans do? No, we're not supposed to do what the Romans do. And it's not about segregation or separation, but we have our own custom that we're supposed to follow under. We're not supposed to be following other people's customs. That wasn't what was appointed to us as a people. We were supposed to follow our own customs and do what we need to do, you know, to get our own blessings and things for celebrating our own celebrations. You get what I'm saying? Basically, it talks about Janus. I'm going to this article here called commonera.com. It talks about Janus and the ritual of the new year. So it's a ritual. They tell you straight up, hey, this is a ritual, okay? And I'm going to read a little bit of this segment of Janus and the ritual of the New Year's so that you all can see what I'm talking about here, okay? It says a Roman god, okay? A Roman god with no Greek counterparts. Janus was deeply entrenched in the psyche of Rome. So this is Rome's psyche, okay? This is what they're thinking. This is the psyche to them. Now, they came over here and brought their customs over to us and kind of put it into our minds that this is supposed to be our culture too, but no, this is not our culture. We have nothing to do with this. This has nothing to do with us. It has absolutely nothing to do with us. So, they said it was born way before the Greek pantheon and was adopted by the Romans. It said it was strange and ancient. Janus was depicted with 2, sometimes 4 faces, okay? One face is always looking back, reflecting, analyzing, and learning from the past. And the other one looks forward, eyes filled with hope to the future. So it's more metaphor than God. Janus proceeded over the doors and gates. And more importantly, what they represented in the transitions, okay? So the 2-headed Janus, basically opener of the soft gilding year, as a bit of an enigma. Janus did more than make sure people enter doorways in ways that would bring luck. He had a hand in everything, and evoked at the start of every sacrifice, purveyor of all that begins again, the father of the year. So when you're celebrating New Year's and you're out drinking and you're out turning up and you're out taking in all this energy pretty much from this holiday that you're celebrating, you're taking on you're giving them luck, because at the end of the day, for some reason, a lot of this don't work for us. And you got to understand, looking at these things and these rituals. Why are they doing rituals? Rituals is not a bad word. We do rituals every day. You get up out your bed, you brush your teeth, you wash your face. That's been a ritual since we was able to take care of our own hygiene. We've been under ritual, and it is true. We are doing rituals. Everything that we do is a ritual. From going in the kitchen, cracking an egg open, cooking it. If you do it every day at the same time on the same channel, it's a ritual. Period. It's a ritual. Okay? So, beginnings were sacrificed to the double-faced God, though he could be found on either side of the threshold. An exit is the same as an entrance, depending on which side you view it. Okay? Time is an ouroboros, a snake eating its own ouroboros. A snake eating its own tail. Under his protection were beginnings of the day, the month, and the year. The first month, January, okay? It's named for him. But those are also the end of the previous chapter closing, which he looks upon thoughtfully. Okay? So it's just basically letting you know that, in so many words, it's a Roman holiday. And that I'm not going to get too deep into this because, like I said, this is my first video. So I'm just kind of testing this out here, giving you a little bit of information. But if you would like to go and research this for yourself, you can go and Google in Janus New Year, and it will bring up all the articles and things talking about this so-called New Year's deity that a lot of people pray to at the beginning of the year. I don't celebrate this New Year's. I call it the fiscal New Year because basically it's the end of the year. They getting all their books together so they can go ahead and tax your ass or run them taxes. So I don't look at anything that the Romans are doing particularly in their society today. I really don't want to partake in this stuff any longer. You get what I'm saying? And I'm working on, I'm doing things to work my way to move past that, because it just doesn't make any sense that they would make this day in the dead of winter and everybody celebrates it like it's just the thing to do, and they never stop and question pretty much. And that's what I was just basically asking, do you guys even question anymore? It's a New Year's, but why are we celebrating it in the dead of winter? Why? So when I found out that it belonged to the Romans, that gave me some clarity up on this whole Happy New Year's holiday. So to the people out there screaming that, with all this hatred, talking about they don't like the white man or the so-called white man, and they don't want nothing to do with the white man and things as such. Well, you celebrate this holiday every single year. So either you love him and just blowing smoke out your ass, or you really real about what you're saying. Because if you didn't like how he got down or how they got down, you pretty much would not be celebrating their holidays, making their pockets fat by spending money on things like Christmas, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was a day where they set out and killed your ancestors, like killed them in cold blood, murdered them, and never got any justice. Went and sat down and around a table, a feast, and ate and never showed any remorse or reparations or repercussions, okay? So you got to ask yourself these questions, because history do repeat itself. And I'm not saying that the people of today are going to act savage like that, but you know what? You never know nowadays, especially the way the world's going right now. You never know what to expect in this world. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this first podcast up. I'm sorry to communicate. Like and subscribe if you would like to see more videos. You can leave your comments down on what you think about Janus and what is your outtake on this whole energy celebration season thing, because we're definitely tapping into some type of energy pool. And I know Jupiter just went into Pisces, which is an abundance. So I know if I look at Jupiter and I say, abundance, expansion, a lot. And then if I look into Pisces and look at the planet that's ruling over Pisces, which is Neptune, I look at illusions, delusions, a lot of drugs, trying to escape your responsibilities, things like that. So when I look at those things, I'm like, let me find out this year is going to be an expansion of just people trying to escape their realities. Virtual reality, VR. You get what I'm saying? Because if you look at it, Mark Zuckerberg came out with this VR. I believe next year, Metaverse on Facebook more than likely going to be very popular, because a lot of people are going to want to escape their mundane life. These high rents that they driving these rents up really, really high, and they driving the food up, and they drive everything just seems so expensive just to have the bare necessities in life. It's becoming expensive. So next year, yes, while Jupiter is in Pisces, I can see a lot of people escaping through virtual reality and illusion, which is, like I said, Pisces, which is ruled by Neptune, like I said, which is now in Jupiter, which is an expansion on a large scale. So that's how I put astrology together when I start looking at the elements, that's how I put it together. So yes, next year, definitely a large expansion on those energies where people are going to be doing all types of drugs, possible overdoses, a lot of escaping, running away, hiding, not wanting to face responsibilities. So at the end of the day, you really have to ask yourself, who are you praying to? Who are you worshiping? What are you celebrating? Before you could even understand where I'm even about to go with this. And it's a lot of things on the planet that likes to, and it's all energy based. Everything is energy based. Energy is basically emotions and action. You feel a type of way, so you get up and you do it. Is it energy and motion? That's what emotions are. Energy that's in motion, because you get that emotion, that feeling to go and do it. Then you go and do it, and then you reap whatever results you're going to reap. But like I said, if you like this channel, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe. I'll be back talking about more topics. I'm coming with the news and commentary from my perspective and what I think it is. I'm not saying it's an absolute fact, but I'm giving you my commentary. And I would like to share that with my audience, whoever is watching, and, would like to know the raw truth, or an update on the raw truth. So thank you for joining me today. My name is Swarthy Communique, and I look forward to seeing you again. Peace.